With sugarcane, you will make a lot of money. You will sell them where there's soccer fields, where there are events, in a corner of a mall, in a corner of an event. So with sugarcane, you will make a lot of money. I'm telling you, sugarcane have money. With sugarcane, you can make a lot of money. I used to make a lot of money with sugarcane, and there are no pests which I would say there was a time where I was attacked by pests, and there was no diseases. The other thing is that you just have to plant it in a well-drained soil. The other thing which I found out later, it was that at first attempt, I was planting them where there are like streams of water, where the land is usually wet, but they were not really performing well. So I just planted on 30 meter by 70 meter. I was planting them flat like this. I will do a video about what I'm talking about, how to plant sugar canes and the irrigation part. But with irrigation, I only irrigated them once after I planted them, and then skip few days, and then I irrigated. But from then, I was no more irrigating my sugar cane, and I would get 100% results like this. So my advice is that if you're planting them, plant them in a well-drained soil. Irrigation, yes, you can irrigate them. I would irrigate them maybe between spring, maybe in winter a bit, but like in winter, it's where you are selling them, you see. So selling them usually start from May, June, July, and even August maybe. But they would, if I'm selling them, it's only just a period of 1 month. With 1 month, everything would be gone. And the market of selling sugarcane, that one is so simple. Maybe because like where I'm planting them, people would, when they're driving past by in the road, they could see them. But and the other thing was maybe it was that because I had them for a very long time. It was from 2020, 21, 22, 23. So I would plant them and then leave 2 meter space in between for a circulation. Let's say I'm planting these ones, they are going that side, then I skip 2 meter. Then around winter, after harvesting, I would plant crops in between, maybe cabbages, sometimes tomatoes. Then when they are really then maybe my size here, or maybe in a knee size, it's where I will be no more planting in something in between, you see. So that was the trick which I was using, and I had to remove all of them because on the money side, the only downside with sugarcane is that they take 1 year for you to sell. So yes, I was making money with them, but it was not really enough, because if you check the harvest of cabbages, in 3 to 4 months I can harvest cabbage, and then I can even put tomatoes in between. I can put something and put something. So in a year period, I was able to make money with this sugarcane. But if I'm rotating crops on that same land, it's where I can see, okay, sugarcane, they have money, but it is also taking my land. Imagine 70 by 30 meters, which was only with sugarcane. Yes, I would make a couple of hundred, but it was not really worth it. I wanted land, so that's why I removed. But the other thing is that you can also plant sugarcane like border lines, like what I did now. I just plant them on my fence. The other thing is that kids love sugarcane, so they will come attempt to steal yours, but mine they couldn't. Maybe they did, I was just not aware. But the other thing was that I was no more removing the bush around my farm. I would leave it like as it is, so that like even when you are coming to steal, you would have to struggle a bit. But I have really strong dogs. So whenever they could hear something, they could come and bark. Sometimes they would chase them away. So that's the advantage. And yeah, I'm so sure with this one. Monkeys don't eat these guys, so there's another win. The only downside is that you will take 1 year to have a harvest. But and even on the first year of planting them, you won't be able to make a real good money because they're still growing. But when on the second year you will have a very good harvest, on the third year you will have a very good harvest, fourth year, yes, fifth year, a bit challenging. So when they're still after 3 years, it's where maybe you won't be really getting a good harvest. With good harvest, I mean like really strong, very strong sugar cane. So the other thing which I would do on that same land, let's say I planted this one for 3 years. In those 3 years, I would plant another one, so that like on the next season when I'm harvesting, the other ones will be there, but they will be not really strong. Then I dig up all those ones which have reached 3 years, and I could really see, because like I would plant them in this row like this, and then the following one on this one. So after 3 years, I remove all those ones which have reached 3 years. Actually, in 4 years, because I plant them the first year, second year it's not really good, third year is good, fourth year is good. Then I plant another one on the following row. So there's the other thing. The other thing is that you should remove all these leaves, dead leaves, so that like there could be a very good air circulation. But the other thing is that if you remove all these dead leaves, there are high chances your cabbages will not cabbages, your sugarcane will be getting scratched like this. I'm not so sure if the camera will really zoom in. They could get damages like this, and consumers, when they are buying, they are really choosing it, and especially to those who are buying to go and sell again. So with the market, people would come and buy to go and resell, and I could find it so easy for me to sell up all this. The other thing which I used to really suffer from, I wouldn't really want to be wasting my time moving around selling them. Yes, I could make a lot of money with that, but there's also petrol involved, and my time, and my other farm is not being worked on. So yes, you can make money with selling yourself, but it could take time, and I'm always hands-on. And mind you, I only need seasonal workers. So sometimes when I'm out there selling, it's where I'm wasting my own time onto working on another project. So I could just I was not even advertising them. People would see them from far, and people would know where to get sugarcane in winter. So there are even those ceremonies where people go into the mountain, where circumcision time, people would come and go and sell them there. So people even go and sell them where they are, because it's June, where we have this thing called Musangwe, where people are fighting. It's a very big gathering. People would come and buy them and go and sell them there. And the other thing is that even on soccer field, when their community tournament, when there are soccer, people come and go and sell them there. So you see, it's so easy to sell sugarcane. In my area, I don't know any farmer who sell to people who are producing this thing, people who are producing sugar. But then there's this other town in maybe 200 kilometers from here, Polokwane and Teflop. That side, people buy sugarcane from here and then they resell it there. But the other client which I had for 3 years, it was this other guy who come and buy my sugarcane and sell them in Joburg, in Jabulani Mall, outside schools. And there, when they're selling these sugarcanes, they cut them like this. So they could sell 2 for 3 rand, 2 for 3 rand. That guy was making a lot of money, for a point where that person would drive all the way from Gauteng to here and then back to Gauteng, and then just like that, the person would come here, maybe in a week time they are sold, and then he drive back. So I was not really struggling with the market of sugar canes. So sugar canes, they're so simple. And the other thing which I could tell you to do, when you're harvesting them, don't do it like I did. You cut them here or in the stems, so that like there where you harvested it, it will be producing other sugar canes going further. So sugar canes are so simple, like to the point where any farmer can have a very good harvest. The thing which people struggle with, they plant them in a not well drained soil. So plant them in a well drained soil, harvest them once in a while, maybe when you see that there's very drought, yes, and tie them up. If you're selling to people who are doing, if you're selling them to people who are doing sugarcane, yes, I understand. But if you're not, tie them up. There was a time where I didn't tie them up. It was last year. They were just like how they are. Then within 2 weeks, I was telling myself that, oh, I'm about to start with harvest. Then there was a very big wind, and I was not expecting very big wind, especially deep in winter. That wind was like pushing them down. Some they were broken, and especially when they are really good for harvest, they were down. Like there was a row which it was down, and with that I was struggling to really sell them because people are so choosy. They want really strong flat sugar cane. So you find that people are not really wanna buying those ones, but they will buy them when after you've sold all those ones which are standing up strong. When they have no choice, they will buy them, especially people in my community, those who are just coming. Some I would just give them as a bonus. If let's say a person bought 5, I would give him 1 which is not straight. So to avoid that mistake, plant